Global Politicals on Enterprise Television. Kingsley Bass is my name. Welcome to today's conversation on the show. Very pleased to welcome you. Well, let's talk national infrastructure and indeed development across the country. Well, President Bola Tinubu's recent commissioning of the 30-kilometer stretch of the ambitious Lagos-Calabar coastal highway has stirred waves far beyond the shoreline. While the administration touts the project as a game-changing infrastructure milestone poised to enhance connectivity and boost the economy, critics question its timing, they've questioned transparency and the human and environmental cost involved in the project. Well, from concerns about displacement of persons and properties to questions about due process and cost escalation, the coastal highway has become a flashpoint for national discourse. And that's not all. Well, the timing of this as well has become a problem. Well, what has caused a major stir this past few days is not just the projects now. I mean, 750 kilometers of a project that's there, but commissioning 30 kilometers of that ambitious 750 kilometers has stirred controversy across platforms, and that's why this is the focus today on the show. So, is this the road to progress or a detour from Nigeria's pressing priorities, as the president just a few days ago commissioned that project? Let's get talking. I'm joined at this point to shed light on this conversation by political commentator Prince Francis Chilaka. He joins me virtually today. Prince Francis, many thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Basi. It's a pleasure.
Appreciate your joining me. Let me hear your thoughts on the commissioning of 30 kilometers of the 750 kilometer stretch of the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. How do you feel about the president, using the opportunity when he visited Lagos a few days ago? First, he was in Lagos for the Golden Jubilee of the Economic Community of West African States since it was established in 1975. After that, the president stayed back in Lagos, which is literally his home, his base, and then on Saturday commissioned the project. What do you think? How do you feel about commissioning 30 kilometers of a 750 kilometer stretch project?
Well, Basi, government in Nigeria have always taken advantage of the gullibility of the people. They have always sat back and decided what the people should want and not what the people want. This whole idea of commissioning half-baked, half-completed projects started with the former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha. And that is a very wrong precedent. It's something that has come to stay in our country today, where you wake up from sleep, you look at an uncompleted building and you're commissioning it while the construction work is going on. It's an aberration. It shows you cluelessness, it shows you lack of vision, and it shows you that the government is not for the people. See, I would say this. If President Bola Tinubu had asked his Minister for Works, Dave Omai, to calculate the cost of constructing this elephant project and using that funds to fix the entire dilapidated federal roads, it would have done something nobody has done. He would have said to himself, he would have beat his chest and say, yes, I was prepared for this task and I am delivering on what is expected of me. This is a very wrong time in our nation, considering the harsh economic reality, considering the fact that, we now have what we call multi-dimensional poverty, considering the fact that we have quite a number of students out of school, considering the fact that people cannot afford medical attention. There is no employment. So the government would have made more sense if it had thought about all of this, put it in perspective and say, rather than embarking on this project, let us fix the roads in Nigeria. Let the roads be motorable. Let the roads be worthy. So that when we are asking people to pay for roadworthiness, they will understand where the funds are going to, and they will understand why they are making all those payments. But no, for me, this is not of development. It's not a sign of infrastructure. It's just a sign of a government that seems to have no direction at all.
You worried about, channeling resources to commissioning of projects. You referenced the administration of former governor, mostly Governor Rochas Okorocha, who then, proceeded to be the senator. Are you concerned about, this trend and the channeling of the way administrations channel funds? Let's focus still on the Tinubu administration. Channeling funds for commissioning, because there is quite a lot that will go into commissioning a project that is yet to be completed too. Are you worried that even that, such, funds budgeted for this commissioning ceremony, could go a long way, as you mentioned, to handle or tackle some other projects in the country?
This whole thing about commissioning is it's an aberration from good governance. It is when somebody has not done well, and you want to use public funds to show to show your inanities, to show how clueless and how how lack of management skill you have. Is that this whole thing about commissioning is something that cuts across board. A local government chairman would construct a borehole with the people's money, and he will spend more than the cost of constructing that borehole to commission the borehole. So what is the logic behind it? By the time you know the cost that was spent in this commissioning, you will be shocked, because that cost can set up cottage industries. That cost can fix few government hospitals. That cost can actually provide medication in some hospitals. That cost can actually go a long way to fix most of our Nigerian universities. But you see, we just have this mindset of spend, spend, spend. And it's very, very unfortunate. So the pointer to that is that, Nigeria is a country God has blessed with all mineral resources and everything. But the only problem we've had is bad leadership. And so when people say, oh, we need to pray for good leaders, you don't pray for good leaders. It's like a man who is looking for a wife and you're praying God to give you a wife. God does not give anybody a wife. The Bible is very explicit on it. It says, he who finds a good wife, or he who finds a wife, finds a good thing, and the blessings that follow. So it's expected that you would find the wife and present to God for blessing. And so the same thing happens with leadership. We need to stop praying for leadership. We need to do the right thing. We need to have a country where people can vote for good leadership. And then you present that good leader to God for blessing.
Prince Francis, let's talk about...
In Nigeria, we're always putting the cart before the horse.
Well, let's talk about the rate, the speed with which this project is being completed. For want of better words, let's stick with speed with which it's being completed. Started 2 years ago. I mean, the awarding of this contract to High-Tech was just 2 years ago for them to begin work. Well, 2 years later, they've completed 30%, 30 kilometers of the road, in 2 years. We have 750 kilometers. The entire stretch is 750 kilometers. And if you completed 30, if 30 has been completed, within 2 years. I mean, do the math, if you do the math, that's 720 remaining. It means if we go by this, maybe it will be faster. But the question, my question is, are you worried about the speed? Are you worried about, how fast, how slow this has been? It looks like we'll be commissioning projects 30 kilometers every single 2 years. Do you sense too that there is some political undertone to this?
They say, well, people would say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. But if you are a leader who has, who understands what timing is, you will understand that the government itself should be ashamed that after 2 years, you are just commissioning 30% of 750. You're commissioning 30 kilometers of 750 kilometers. It means that if we follow the trend, it means that 2025, 2027 we'll do another 30. 20
that'll be 2029.
2030 or thereabout.
Yeah, 2020.
We'll be doing, so it means that it's going to take forever. A lot of us would have gone by then. A lot of those in their 70s, late 60s, 70s, 80s would have gone. So how do you start such a project when you know you have just 4 years in office? And that's why I said when I started, I said, what the government would have done was to spend that money in fixing all the roads across the country. You saw the accident that took the life of 20 people from Kaduna State, the athletes. It's the bad road. There are no good roads in Nigeria, no good roads. And the entire southeast, the entire south, the entire, even the entire north. There are no good roads. So are we not thinking as if there's no box?
What brings me
Why are we embarking on projects that are time consuming and fund consuming?
Well, which brings
especially now that Nigeria is going through a very difficult time economically.
Yeah, Prince Francis, I mean, your reference of the sad, unfortunate of those athletes who attended the National Sports Festival in Ogun State, the Kano delegation. That reference brings me to this, my next question, which is this coastal highway, this kind of mega projects. Is this what Nigeria urgently needs right now, given you've referenced economic challenges? And, is this project more of something that we should do now, considering that there are several bad roads too that needs to be fixed?
This is not what we need at this point in time. It simply shows you that government did not do their homework well. They are not planning. They don't have a vision. The truth of the matter is that government across from federal to state to local government, they've had this mindset that they're a demigod. And because they're a demigod, they just assume that they know it all. They should ask the Nigerian people, what do you people want? And I'm telling you, Basi, if you ask Nigerian people what they want, that coastal highway will be the list of what they want. Honestly speaking, it's going to be the list of what an average Nigerian wants.
Of course, I mean, if you speak I was just going to say that if you speak with, for example, just maybe buttressing your point and imagining, because of course you speak with friends, family members, colleagues, and Nigerians in general who live across the country. If you speak with people along the say, Abuja, Kogi, Lokoja stretch, they'll tell you, yes, why not fix this, right? Why not fix this road? The Shagamu road to, thankfully, the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, a stretch of that has been fixed as well. But let's, as we begin to wrap, Prince Francis, talk more, and just go back to what was subtly put to you as a question, and just, maybe bring that back as we begin to close. Is this project, do you think this is more of a political statement than a practical investment in national infrastructure? And this is tied to my last question, the immediate past question, because again, there are several bad roads in the country, but with the introduction, the award of this one, and now we've seen the commissioning of this project. It's been called a landmark project, by this administration. Several existing roads, and rail infrastructure that needs to be, fixed. They're not fixed, right? But this one, a landmark one, of course, will be credited to this administration. And so, do you see that this project? Do you think that this is more of a political statement than a practical investment in national infrastructure?
No, that's for me, this is purely waste. It's purely political. It's not about the country. It's not about the people. It's waste of resources. It's waste of everything you can ever think of. So the government is just trying to, say, oh, we started this project, or we did this project. So it has nothing to do with the lives of the Nigerian people. It's not adding value to their lives.
No, but to be fair, this is going to bring, connectivity to the people.
Percy, if you're talking about bringing creativity, whatever to
connectivity,
the people,
economy, job creation in some way.
If you're talking about connectivity, yes. I agree. But how do you now just oppose that against all the other roads that are also meant to connect the people that are not functioning? How do you connect it? So why don't you fix the smaller problems before addressing the bigger problem? I mean, there is no emergency for us to build this road, for us to embark on this road. There is no crisis. There is no national need for it right now. The national need for us today is to fix all the other roads, fix all the federal roads. If the government has started to fix the federal roads and finish fixing them, and there is no other road to fix, then they can start. They can embark on this. But embarking on this on the first leg of this administration, is a waste of resources, honestly speaking.
All right, as we close, it might be fair to just go back, to talk about some of in celebrating, or more like marking that's President Tinubu's second year as president. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, had rolled out some of the achievements in terms of infrastructure, works done, roads fixed, number of kilometers, of road fixed as well. What's, in closing, the expectations of this administration as they wrap this tenure in the next 2 years? By May 2027, the president would have done 4 years as president. What, as a Nigerian, what message do you have for his administration in terms of infrastructure?
2 years of this government has been like 30 years in hell.
Is that Prince Francis not exaggerated?
No, but see, let me be very honest with you. I work with people out there. I deal with a lot of people. I'm not even talking about the high class. I deal with the downtrodden. And so I know. These days, it is worrisome that you open your phone, out of every 10 messages you open, 6 of them are making demands of one assistant or the other. This is not the Nigeria we all know. It's either they're asking you for money for food, they're asking you for money for medicals, they're asking you for money for paying their children's school fees. So it's becoming a burden. And this is not what Nigerians expected. So I keep asking myself, when you say renewed hope, where is the hope? You need to have a hope before you begin to talk of renewing it.
All right.
So this government has not done in 2 years, to be honest with you, I keep saying it, the only thing this government has achieved, or the only promise of this government that the government has kept, is the fact that they have widened the tax net. They have made Nigerians poorer than they are before. They have inflicted a lot of pains, depression on the Nigerian people. That is all. So anybody who thinks that in another 2 years, we're going to walk out of the situation we are today, that person must be willing to wield the magic wand.
All right.
So I'm waiting to see that magic wand.
Prince Francis, we've got to leave things there. I'd like to thank you so much for joining the conversation. It's been, we've been talking about the commissioning of the 30-kilometer stretch of the 750-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, which was done by the president just a few days ago in Lagos. Well, it saw several persons attend that ceremony, the commissioning in Lagos. The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, was present, the Minister of Works alongside the president, several other political figures in the country, especially those serving in this administration, those serving as legislators, executives as well. But yeah, we'll leave things there, and we'll continue to follow this story. Indeed, we'll wait for the next commissioning, if it's going to be in 2 years as some have predicted. But by the way, if you do the calculations, if you go by the 30 kilometers that have been done in 2 years, if you go by that calculation, it means that it will take 24 years to complete the entire stretch, going by 30 every 2 years. So it will take 24 more years to complete the rest. That's the 720 remaining. But Prince Francis Chilaka, again, thank you so much for joining me. Prince Francis Chilaka is a political commentator. He's been talking to me about the commissioning and sharing his thoughts on why this should not be. Well, Lagos, you can stop. Stop by the comment section. Nigeria, wherever you're watching me from, Lagos, Kaduna, Kano, Abuja, wherever it is you're watching from, Ilorin, Kwara, of course, Ogun State, whether it's from the United Kingdom, United States, wherever you find yourself, stop by the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this particular conversation, and I'll be reading and responding as well. Kingsley Bass is my name. Keep watching Enterprise Television. Until next time, on Homo Politicus will say, may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.